Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome to another scene for the Living World of Darkness, Rage Across New York. We are setting the scene at the Sept of the Green, where, at least initially, during this opening, 10 Point is pelting through the Umbra, running at a full sprint, gasping for air, because in the wake of her, well, let's call it a spar with Dallas, she has only briefly glimpsed Aiden and been surprised by a shot of very white hot jealousy as he made his way out of the cabin, going himself to the training grounds after they returned. And while she has reached out several times through the pack link, she's been forced to recoil and left with something of a glimpse into his head as he goes about trying to murder out all his feelings on one of the dummies. Flashes of various people that he's cared about, people he's lost, just everything that could possibly fill him to the brim of sorrow. And as it has gotten to the point that these flashes have devolved from him swinging the bat to flashes of his bloodied knuckles as he shifts, drops the bat, drops the shillelagh, just keeps hammering away, destroying his hands in the process, and just starts kind of an emotional collapse that 10 Point has shifted and has begun running. And as the scene begins, we'll be lunging through the gauntlet, being able to see either side clearly on a whim. So she will be lunging through and lunging to her packmate as she hits the DeLorean.
Yeah, you see the shillelagh. You actually see Darcy kind of laying on the ground, and there is blood all over it. You see Aiden. He's kind of like not on his knees yet, but he's kind of hovering, kind of that kind of state where you've hit things too hard and you're kind of exhausted. Your knees are beginning to buckle, like just leaning against one of the dummies. You can see one of his hands. The knuckles are destroyed, probably broken, several of them.
And as described, it is nothing less than a full-on lunge as she practically materializes mere feet away, arms out in front of her, and looks to catch him up before he straight falls so that she can at least guide him down as he buckles.
He kind of slides slowly down against the dummy and kind of just, his hands are actually shaking. Eyes are closed.
Oh yeah, she catches him up in her arms, pulls him in tightly, just wrapping around him, pulling his head up next to hers, just holding on tightly.
Yeah, he doesn't say anything. She'll still feel the tremor going up his arm even, but she definitely kind of feel it from him as well, not from rage, just, to be honest, grief.
And much as she has been learning to do in the past, as she's been held by any member of her pack, 10 Point just floods open the gates into the pack link and amplifies out every note of comfort, every note of care, every note of sympathy, every note of security that she can muster, and just keeps tightly a hold of him, clutching him in.
He doesn't really say anything. He's just kind of like, his hair is all matted as well. Probably a mixture of sweat and just, kind of, you can just see bits of muck in it as well. He's probably fallen over and gotten back up. Doesn't really say anything, and then kind of just as he tries to, stop the shaking in one of his hands, holding it. I hate this place.
We all hate this place. And as he keeps on, she'll continue, take a hold of his shoulders, and bow her forehead in until it's bumped against his, continuing to just steadily emit every calming, soothing thing that she can muster up to push out.
I don't know what's wrong with me.
You're grieving, Raya.
I just hate everything, Time.
I know you hurt, Raya, but it can't all be bad.
It fucking feels like it. It's easy for people to come in and criticize and then judge me. Hell, you should look at the way Dallas looks at me.
She doesn't understand.
She doesn't fucking try. She's more concerned by the fact that I mentioned Karina. The only thing on her fucking mind is that woman's what's in between that woman's legs.
And as he's getting his faculties back to him, she's still settled on the ground, but essentially is kind of wrapped herself around him in a not quite the holding in the lap kind of way, because she's not like actually pulling him in that like over her legs, but just kind of draped around his back.
Oh yeah, important point to mention, because I cannot do that level of raspiness, but his voice is raspy as all fuck. You can tell he's probably been screaming as he's been punching.
We all have our weaknesses, Raya. She doesn't understand.
She doesn't want to understand, 10 point. She just wants to have her fucking cake and eat it.
Unless you show her what you show me, she can't possibly grasp what you're going through, Raya.
She doesn't want to know what I'm going through.
Of course she does.
I fucking doubt that. Do you think Banshee really wants to see what I'm going through?
We are your family, Raya. She is your sister. Banshee is as good as a mother. They want to take care of you, Raya.
Don't you get it? I told Banshee I can handle anything.
Ryan, no one can handle everything.
Do you know I wanted to beat Grants right then and there to the point where he couldn't even open his mouth again? I wanted to hit him so hard I could feel his fucking jaw shattered into 1,000 pieces. Do you know I wanted to hit Dallas?
She just tugs him in briefly, tightening the hug for a moment. And while she won't say anything on the matter, there's just kind of a thought in regards to that twisted thing that feeds it. She's just shuffling the blame to it. Not saying as much, but again, there's zero shielding taking place. You can practically hear her thinking.
Yeah, maybe I am tainted or something at that point. Maybe that's it.
If you were tainted, the wards would have gone off. But whatever it is,
Maybe
it's
it's a
wrong.
different type. Maybe it's a different fucking type or something. I don't know.
It will be dealt with. We're going to the right master.
Right, master. What's he gonna fucking say?
He's going to help me find a way to deal with it. Nothing I know, nothing I have learned is enough. He is the right master for a reason.
Yeah, well. Maybe he can explain to me why this has been like this since I was a cub.
Maybe he can.
Maybe he'll say it's just because. Maybe I'll stop and, shake a bit. Again, violently.
She pulls him in until it starts lightening up again. She will hold him incredibly tightly and gather him up against her until the trembling stops.
Maybe he'll say more than just, it's because you couldn't be in a room. That stag cursed you with only being one of the new moons. And the twisted irony of that my first change was on the new moon rather than the full.
Stag doesn't curse his own children.
Maybe. That fucking feels like it.
When those things haunt you, and you drag yourself to Stag Shrine, perhaps instead you should drag yourself to the Hind.
Why would I go there?
She is Stag's daughter. And she is the mother to all that are lost. Why do you think I put a wolf cub and a human child by her side? She doesn't want your blood, Raya. She wants you to know peace.
I can't not give my blood 10 point. I've given everything.
And if you give until there is nothing left, then what happens?
I don't know. It's all I have left, 10 point.
You have to build something for yourself before you give.
And what's that? What do I have here? Only memories of things I've failed.
And no memories of your success as Tamer of Dragons.
They don't remember me for anything I've fucking done for them here. They never will.
don't care what they remember. I care what you remember.
That's the point. That's the whole basis of what we are. Is our tales are to be sung for all. What will they say about me here, I wonder? I'm a savage.
In case you've forgotten, Raya, savagery is a lauded trait.
Fine. That I'm just this cruel, sadistic guru that's too caught up in the old ways. They only ever serve myself rather than anything else.
And she'll take to idly just kind of stroking back his hair, filtering out bits of dirt, casting them aside. And why would they call you cruel?
Look at me. I do anything. I get the job done.
You do what is necessary. That is not cruel, it's efficient, Raya.
Yeah, it's not enough, is it? Everyone gets to go around sitting around drinking because we failed. We lost something. And me, what do? I'm the first one up. I'm the first guardian that turns up for patrol. And what do I get look like? I get to listen to some Walk of the Wilds fucking man who couldn't even qualify for his own tribe try to lecture me on how I run and how I am in my own pack.
And her gaze sharpens a bit. She continues, just idly stroking back his hair, trying to get it in some semblance of order, still tucked around him. Do you want to see him punished for his actions, Raya? I will make it happen.
Nobody's going to be punishing nobody, and we both know that.
This is wartime.
Do you think that silver-fang hypocrite will fucking ever fucking punish?
I remember lessons.
That was at the behest of our pack. We both know that.
And this would be at the behest of our pack as well. Through a
I
different
don't want to hear his bullshit. His people killed Balian's people.
I know, Raya.
And I hate him for that. In fact, I hate this whole sept for doing that to him.
You know, I asked the woman that they all fought so hard to save. She only lived perhaps 2 cycles of the moon past the battle.
Do you know, Saoirse told me they're all fighting over in that hellhole over there. Do you think maybe if they had let your one die, they might have been able to do something?
The needs of the many should have outweighed the needs of the few.
Yeah,
But
that's
this
the
place
simple
is
fucking green for you,
backwards.
isn't it?
And we are here to make sure they do not make these mistakes again.
Yeah, well. If this was a real war time, we both know the rune that we speak of would have been gone already.
He will be tested in battle. And he will survive or he will not. But in the meantime, he is still only a Cleothrea.
I'm not talking about him. The taint.
It has to be dealt with.
Yeah. And how many more Garul die for that?
None. We don't have the numbers to spare, Raya.
Yeah, volunteers.
Numbers are numbers.
You know, there was a part of me that does want to save him, but they bring the likes of those who destroy an entire city. The Homins have their uses. Balance.
It is. But for now, he is not a threat to the Sept. And for now, he can care for himself. And for now, he can still kill our enemies.
Why does everyone I love die around me, Tim? Right?
We are cursed with short lives, Raya.
And that's it.
No. But it is what we tell ourselves.
Yeah, well,
The
it's
world
bullshit.
is cruel. The world is cruel and there's no good reason for it. But Banshee and Balin are alive. Dallas is alive. I am alive. Focus on the living, Raya. We are still here. And she squeezes him again. And we are just as willing to give and give and give as you are.
I don't know what they told you, but I suck at this point.
At what?
This. I can't be close to people. I don't know how. What's that say about Fiona, right? Sure, I can walk the walk and allow her and do all the things, but I can't get close to people. And when
She'll
I do,
adopt a sad little smile.
I just push them away. Because it's easier than them spending time with me. I'm very good at it.
This time around, as she's plucking a couple loose strands from his brow, tucking them back. She'll give another good heavy flush of just warm emotion. And while it's in no way a romantic kind of love, it's still very what's the word I'm looking for? Just kind of shakingly real. And she just continues to flesh it out into a direct link to him. I will not be pushed away, Raya. Your pack will not be pushed away. And we know that you care. No matter how much you tease and you pick.
I wonder, did anyone else spot this apart from you? Or they just think I'm being petty?
If they do, Raya, it is because not all are so lucky as to have seen past. You put up a good act, and you put up a thick wall. You should not try so hard to wall out your family.
I don't do intimacy, never mind. I can't. I'm afraid of it.
We have come to you before and held you up when you were weak, when you were stricken.
And do you know how much I hate myself for the fact you have to do that?
Raya, we are Guru. There's a reason that we run in packs. We need each other. A Guru running alone is sick.
Maybe that's what I am then.
You're not alone. You try to be. You try to imagine that you are, but you are not.
Before I came here, I had nothing.
And now you have a family.
Yeah. Do you know how fucking terrifying that is?
I do. But we need each other. It is that simple. Sometimes the truth is terrifying, but it's still the truth.
Yeah, I know. Make a pretty poor fucking raggerback.
And she kind of, again, adopts kind of a soft smile. Gives him another very brief but tight squeeze. Perhaps you should focus on lifting the veil from your own eyes as much as you do from others.
I know one thing about myself. It hurts off somewhere, right? They're all going away or dying. I'd never leave. As much as I hated her. run because I've been thrown down like he did.
You aren't a runner.
I see this legacy that they talk about here. And I hate it. I hear stories at some point, and I hate them. Our people.
She lifts a brow.
I just hear about different members of our tribe here, and I hate them. I hate what they are. They're not us.
This place is a broken bone narcept in the middle of a city, surrounded by the Weaver, and the Weaver is filled with the worm. It's a broken hellscape, Raya, but it's ours.
Yeah. Do what you want to Grant. If you want to punish him. I'm just done with all this fucking bullshit.
I'll dwell on it, Raya. I will either seek the more traditional route, or I will use my own methods. But he will regret putting you through this.
It's not him that's putting me through this, and I don't want you to think that.
No, but it started this spiral today.
It's the hypocrisy of it. The day I make fucking Adrian is the day I spit in all of the others' faces. Every last one of them. Including Saoirse if she makes Adrian. But she'd rather spend time with a Metis. One that does not know her place. Than be with the people who are actually her family.
She took responsibility for that Metis.
That Metis deserves to die. It insulted our pack. My friend. And I've not forgotten. And I never will. Everyone
Perhaps
else
it does, but it is still her Metis. Until she is done with it, she is responsible for it.
Saoirse, she's not one of us.
She could remember.
We both know that won't happen. I've known her all my life. I care about her. But she's not one of us. She's proven to me enough times of that already. So we'll keep her as a friend, but we never, ever tell her any of our business. She's lost that privilege in my eyes. But that doesn't mean we're rude. You know?
She chuckles a bit and eases into a more relaxed position. Still keeping him tucked in against her, but no longer quite so stiff and on edge.
I don't mean to get like this. It's just... It burns, you know?
I know. She just reaches out and lightly, like, just touches his temple. I know. But it is hard to give you help that you don't want. And while I wasn't looking, you boiled over. And I'm sorry.
I thought that you, I thought you preferred her over me.
No, Ryan. She is my pack. And she is Araya. But you are my Araya.
But
But I leaked into the link, and she heard it, and she responded.
do you want to know something, 10 Point?
Yes, I do.
Out of everyone in our family, from Balian to Banshee to Dallas, even to Felix, to any of the others that we've bonded with, the only one that has ever surprised me and I've ever truly, really enjoyed properly is you.
And there will be just kind of a pleased flush through the link again. Just overabundance.
It's not like I don't love them, any of the rest of them less or anything like that. That's shite. It's just the one I care about the most is you. Out of everyone.
I dare say it sounds backwards, Raya. She says this with kind of a teasing smile.
I'm not saying I love Metis or anything like that, but
Of course not.
it makes me sad that you weren't a Hamid. Because I can't. Even Twitch. I can't stand the way people mollycoddle you.
She offers a slight tilt of head.
Me, Banshee, Billion, Dallas. We tell you how it is. The rest of them out there, they pretend like they're gonna save you. They're gonna help. Jacob makes his cute little noises at you. But very few of them actually take the time to know you. Or even try. They just hear the jingle jangle of the bells and smile politely, make some vain attempt at trying, but very few actually ever sit there and want to know what you're thinking.
I dare say it's a more manageable situation than it was back home.
It's not even that. It's got nothing to do with Fiona. It's got nothing to do with any of that. You're my packmate. I want to know you. And you're the one I value the most. And I hate to see you be treated like anything less. Because yes, you're a menace, and yes, you know your place, and yes, your standing in this nation is horrible and tough. But at the same time, you take it because it's what has to be done. And how can I not admire you for that?
Sooner or later, some of them will realize that I don't need saving. But in the meantime, this inability to look past the surface is what lets me do what I do for our pack.
He'll stroke the side of her face. I know. But still doesn't mean I have to like it. I want the best for you. Like any good packmate would, whether they're a Hamid or a Lupus or a Metis.
Then never leave me behind.
I hadn't planned on it anyway.
If I were to say that anyone knew me, besides Stag, it would be you. Take some solace in that, at least. You know me better than anyone.
Yeah, well, maybe both of us get jealous over things.
That's where she's been doing a pretty good job of looking him in the face, looking him in the eyes, and it's like, oh, Gets abruptly averted. Maybe Uriah. I didn't mean to make you angry.
It's my own fault. I get possessive.
It's not fair of you to refuse to be close and yet to be possessive.
I know, right? Paradox.
This is a brief, mock thoughtful frown.
It's when I finally do get close 10 points. I latch on. And I consider you, look down, not in a romantic way or any of that shit. I consider you mine. My Omega. I get possessive.
Well, I am your Omega. And there is, if anything, of all the things you could doubt in a Theurge, Don't doubt my faith. And don't doubt my devotion.
Yeah, it's just... Sometimes I forget when they say our. I need to correct them and say my.
I am still Omega to the pack.
I know.
But I am only a call away. Only a thought away.
We would very gently stroke her cheek. I'm not saying you're not loyal to the pack, 10 Point. I'm just saying... It's almost like I've laid claim. In a weird way. You're the first family member that I've had that I want to hold on with everything I have left. You remind me of her as well. My sister Mary. You're as gentle as she was. Kind of rubbed the back of his head awkwardly.
And she purses her lips for a bit, shifts her jaw a couple times, and finally just settles for, again, just tightening the grip and pulling him in. Probably nesting her chin on his shoulder, at least for a little bit.
I've probably made this awkward.
No. It's not like I have a basis for comparison, Raya. It's good to be wanted. It's new, but it's good.
Yeah. I never thought I'd feel that way about a menace.
It's another kind of wry little smile.
What about you then, 10 Point? Now that I've bared all.
She purses her lips for, again, a good long moment. Raya, I can't compare you to brothers or sisters or family. I haven't had them. I've had many, many things. I've even had the generosity of my pack and the kindness they give me, keeping me on the right path. And I don't know what to call you except my Raya. And it is new and it is different. I'm not sure what to do with it.
You enjoy it. While it still lasts. While we both have time to enjoy it.
And she finally kind of gives her head a little shake as if kind of trying to clear her mind, not in a negative fashion, but gives it a little shake and finally just leans back, probably against the thoroughly bloodied dummy, since that's where they dropped. I'm not used to having good things that weren't taken away.
I don't plan on going anywhere for a while anyway, at least.
And I don't plan on dying.
A nod.
Just don't take yourself away from me, Ryle.
I'm not. I'm trying not to. You say very. It's very earnest, you know. I just struggle, so I might need you to help every now and again.
I just can't do it again.
I'm not going anywhere at 10 point. I just need you to help me know when it's okay. If you get me.
And she nods. First kind of slowly and doubtfully, but then more firmly. I won't be chased away again.
No. In anger, I may say some things, but that is in anger, and we both know our tribe's anger.
I know your anger. It's different.
What I say in my anger is usually either the ragabash or the hate. Sometimes you just have to point out that I'm ignoring simple fact. Other times just a gentle touch or an embrace, a hug or whatever you call it, can often remind us what we have. That's all, 10 point. Just to remind me that it's okay to be intimate with people again. That it's safe.
I've long since decided that there's no way you can lash out that makes it not worth trying.
You'll nod. Will you sleep in the cabin tonight?
And she nods. And she'll finally look down to his mangled hand. Shift up first.
I'll heal it tomorrow, 10 point. I don't have the energy tonight. In fact, I kind of wearily smile. I'm half liable to collapse and fall asleep against you in the training grounds, but I don't think that'll be appropriate.
Probably not, Raya. And she'll reach out to collect the shillelagh, kind of stretching from where she's set. And we'll set it kind of across his lap. And then she'll carefully start to disentangle.
Let's go home.
and grateful this time that he seems willing to accept the help, she will revert to her breed form and very gingerly scoop him up.
He'll be carried most of the way, but eventually when it comes to the cabin, he'll just get her to put him down. So he walks in.
Yep,
That'd be the only thing.
She'll ferry him through the umbral portion because she cannot walk through the sept. And as they come to the other side, she'll finally untuck him, gingerly setting him on his feet, and guide him across.
Yeah. I think that's probably the best place to end it, I think.
Mm-hmm. And so once she's reverted to Hamid and they've headed in, you'll say thank you, players, for playing, and watchers for watching. See you next time on the Living World of Darkness. Rage Across New York.